Hey, what's up, kid? What's going on? Type your name in so you can know so I can know you here. What's up, Benjamin? Hola, Andrea. Gabby, I see you. Valeria. Yesel, I see you. Miss Lino, I see you. Thomas, Eliana, Darlene, Natalie, Mariah Perry. Yes, we're doing prime and composite today. All right. I'm sending out the text messages to remind people to get up and get on my line. Right? Hola, the other Valeria is here. Tell your friends, get up. I ain't wake you up, Mariah. You should have been up. You ain't doing that anyway. Get up. All right. But yeah, we're doing primary composite today. We're gonna do a hundreds chart, just like we did in my class. You already did this, and I think Miss Harris and Mr. Lopez they did it. All right. But this is a hundreds chart. This is the chart all the way to 100, and we're gonna cross out primary composite numbers. All right. All right. So let me grab my marker. All righty. And then we steady playing that Fortnite, huh? What's up, Anthony? All right. I'm gonna give you my color code over here. Um, Hola, Amy. What's up, Layson? All right, I'm gonna do blue. My blue is gonna be composite. I'll put a C for composite. And hopefully this red works. I'm gonna try this orange. My orange is gonna be prime. Right? This is Angel Perez mom. Is this the work that the kids are on now? What page is in the workbook? Okay, so after I teach the lesson online, I'll give the page number for the workbook so they can do on independent practice, and then they can send me the work on Instagram or on my email or in Class Dojo. You can send it to me. All right, and I'm gonna type in where you can send the work back to me. All right. So my email is jtraham at HoustonISD.org. That's my email. And then my Instagram is at Mr. T underscore do underscore numbers. All right. So you can either email me the work back, or you can send it in my Instagram in the inbox message. That's what most of the children do. All right. You're welcome. Tell Angel I said hi and I miss him. All right. I'll give you 1 more minute, then we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. So we're gonna take this 100 grid and we're gonna turn it into prime and composite. And I'm also going to show you the 6th grade version of prime and composite. All right. Just in case we don't get to go back to school, I wanted to show you this anyway. All right. So in this hundreds grid, I'm gonna take every number from 1 to 100. My blue is gonna be for composite numbers. My orange is gonna be for prime, and my green is gonna be for neither. All right. Benjamin, he said, who haven't done their work that they got? Gabby says we did prime numbers and this. Good, Gabby. These are, you've done every lesson in 5th grade. This is just me reviewing it with you. All right, so you won't forget. Oh yes, ma'am. The videos will stay here to watch. As soon as I'm done streaming, it'll automatically save to the page. So you can go back through my page and you can watch the other videos that I've taught. All right. Any other questions before we get started? Good morning to everybody. I hope y'all didn't stay up all night on that Instagram, on that live, on that whatever y'all on, Snapchatting. And I hope you ain't stay up. Wipe the coal out your eyes. All right. All right. All right. So let's get started. All right. First things first, you need to know the difference between prime and composite. All right. A prime number is a number where you only can multiply 1 times that number to equal that answer. All right. For example, the number 7 is prime because you can only multiply 1 times 7 to get to 7. All right. Prime and composite deals with whole numbers. I know some of y'all smart, but Mr. Traham, 3.5 times 2, that is 7. Right. But the 0.5, that's a part. Prime and composite only deals with whole numbers. Right. So prime numbers have 1 times the number, right? Again, my example was 7. 7 is prime because you only can multiply 1 times 7, right? Now, composite numbers have 1 times the number, and it has another way to multiply to get that number. For example, composite numbers would be like the number 10, right? The number 10 is composite because I can multiply 1 times 10, and I also can multiply 2 times 5. Because it has another way to multiply to get the answer 10, besides 1 times 10, the number 10 is composite, right? So in a quick review, prime numbers, you only have 2 factors, 2 numbers that could be multiplied, 1 times the number. Composite numbers have more than 2 factors, more than just 1 times the number. The factors of 10 are 1, 10, and then 2 and 5. That's 4 different factors, which makes the number 10 composite. All right. So that's just a quick refreshing, quick reminder of prime and composite. All right. So I'll go ahead and color code my examples. I told you the number 7 was prime. So my prime color is orange. So I'm gonna go ahead and circle the number 7 orange because I already know it's prime, right? And I said my composite was blue and the number 10 was composite, all right? So I'm going to cross out the number 10 in blue. All right. Now we'll get started, all right? We're going to do the whole first row, and then I'm going to tell you some shortcuts on how you can determine whether the number is prime or composite, all right? So if you're in my class, what did I say about the number 1? Is the number 1 prime or composite? Or neither? You can type it in. All right, I'm getting some answers. Okay. All right, I see Anthony learned something. Natalie learned something. Benjamin learned something. Yahida learned something. Cesar learned something. Yasel learned. Okay, cool. If you're in my class, you realize the number 1 is neither prime nor composite. All right. The only thing you can multiply to get 1 is 1. 1 times 1. That's it. All right. So because it's neither, I'm going to circle 1 in the color green. Green means neither. All right. Good. Now, what about the number 2? Is the number 2 prime or composite? Think about which whole numbers can you multiply to get 2? Is the number 2 prime or composite? You can go ahead and type it in. Anthony says prime. Benjamin says prime. Valeria says prime. Prime, prime. Okay. Everybody's saying prime. Good. You learned something. You remember something. The number 2 is prime because you can only multiply 1 times 2. Again, you can say, but Mr. Traham, I know other numbers that you can multiply to get 2, but I'm only talking about whole numbers. The only whole numbers you can multiply to get 2 is 1 times 2, which makes it prime. All right? And since 2 is prime, I'm going to circle it in orange. All right? Moving on. The number 3 is also prime because the only numbers I can multiply to get 3 is 1 times 3. All right? Again, Mr. Trayan, but 1.5 times 2, that equals 3. I'm only dealing with whole numbers. The only whole numbers I can multiply is 1 times 3. All right? So the number 3 is also prime, so I'm going to circle it. All right? Now, think about what numbers can I multiply to equal the number 4. All right? The number 4 is 1 times 4, and it's also 2 times 2. So, Natalie, you said the lines of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is prime. That's incorrect, Natalie. The rule of 2 makes them composite. All right? So just stay with me, Natalie. Don't go ahead. All right? So everyone else is typing in 2 times 2 and 1 times 2, right? Good. Since I have a different way besides, since I have 2 times 2, the number 4, it's composite because I have 1 times 4, like Darlene typed in, and I have 2 times 2, like Darlene typed in. Remember, prime only has 1 times the number. Composite has more than one way besides 1 times the number, right? So in 4, I'm going to cross it out in blue because 4 is composite. All right. Now, don't worry. As soon as when we get through the first row, it's going to speed up really fast. All right. The number 5, I'm going to start calling on some people so everybody won't answer. Chris Cisneros, is number 5 prime or composite? Type it in, Chris. Good, Chris. The number 5 is prime because I only can multiply 1 times 5. All right, good. Since 5 is prime, I'm going to cross out, I'm going to circle 5 in orange. All right. Let me see. Darlene, is number 6 prime or composite? Think about what you got to multiply to equal 6. Is it only 1 times 6, or can you find more than one way? So, Darlene, tell me, is 6 prime or composite? Good, Darlene. 6 is composite. All right. So I'll cross it out in blue. The number 6 is composite because you have 1 times 6, and you also can do 2 times 3. So I'm going to cross that out. It's composite. Good. We've already did 7. So we'll just have to do 8 and 9. Natalie, is the number 8 prime or composite? Natalie, is number 8 prime or composite? Think about what you have to multiply to get 8. If you only got to multiply 1 times 8, then it's prime. Good, Natalie. It's composite because you can do 1 times 8 and you can do 2 times 4. Good. 8 is composite, so I'm going to cross it out in blue. All right. Valeria G, who said she wants to go next. Think about the number 9. Is 9 prime or composite? Valeria G, is number 9 prime or composite? All right, thumbs up if you agree with Valeria G. You can type in your thumbs. If you agree that number 9 is prime, thumbs down if you disagree with Valeria G and you think the number 9 is composite. You can type in your thumbs on your emoji. Oh, Valeria, don't retract your message, Nina. Oh, I got a mixed response. Andrea, Chris, and whoever Sunflower is says down. All right. And then I have some people that say thumbs up. All right. So look at the number 9. Number 9 is tricky. All right. Most people think that prime numbers are odd and composite numbers are even. That's not true. Prime and composite does not equal even and odd. It's not the same thing. The number 9 is composite, Valeria and Layson. It's composite because you can multiply 1 times 9 and 3 times 3, just like your cell crew said. All right? All right? So 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. All right? So number 9 is composite. So I'm going to cross it out in blue. All right? Now, let's speed up a little bit. Anthony typed in one of the rules, the rule of 3, right? Can anyone remember the 3 rules that I taught in class? It's 3 shortcuts that'll help turn these numbers from prime to composite. Can anybody, if you remember the rules that I taught you about prime and composite numbers, type them in. One of them is, like Anthony said, the rule of 3. Benjamin says the rule of 3, 5, and 2. Cesar, 3, 5, 2. The rule of 2, 3, and 5. The rule of 2, the rule of 5. The rule of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Natalie, that's the rule of 2. You keep saying that. All right, cool. So everybody remembers the rule of 2, 3, and 5. But Chris also remembers another shortcut, the multiplication facts of 7. All right. So your shortcuts. All right. I'm gonna write your shortcuts in brown. Your shortcuts are your rules. The rule of 2. Ooh, that's an ugly doo-doo brown. Ugh, that's ugly. All right. All right. The rule of 2, the rule of 3, the rule of 5, and factors of 7. All right. So with these shortcuts, I'm about to speed everything up. So we're going to get through this whole 100 grid. All right. Let's start with your 7s. All right. Because that's the quickest one. Chris says the multiplication of 7. So if a number is a factor of 7, is a multiple of 7, you can go ahead and X it out. Right? Because if it's a multiple of 7, that means you can multiply 7 times another number to get that number. For example, the number 84 is composite because of the multiple of 7. How do I know? Because 7 times 12 is 84. And since the multiples of 7 works on this, I can automatically know that 84 is composite. So I'll cross out 84. All right. Now, Natalie says, we knew 7 already. Natalie says 14, 21, 28. Good. 14, 21, 28. Good. Plus 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 56. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 63. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 70, of course. 77 is the next one. Then you had 84. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's also 91. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 98. All right. The rule of 7 is good. All right. Now, can anyone type in the rule of 5 for me and show me how can I use the rule of 5 to get rid of some numbers to turn them prime or composite? If you remember the rule of 5, type it in the box. Good. Cesar, Chris, good. Natalie says 5 times, so that's the multiplications of 5. Yep, everyone's right. If it ends in a 5 or a 0, because if you're multiplying by 5, all the numbers will end in a 5 or a 0. Or if you're skip counting by 5, it'll end in a 5 or 0. Good. I'm glad y'all remember. Y'all didn't forget everything we taught you. All right. So I already know five is prime, but every other number that ends in a 5 or a 0 is composite, because these numbers you can multiply 5 times another number to get that. So they're not prime anymore. They're all composite. So this whole row that ends in 5 and this whole row that ends in 0, all of those are composite because of the rule of 5. So I can cross out all of these numbers in blue. So, all right, so I crossed out the rest of my 5s because they're all composite. And I'm going to cross out all my 0s, because if they end in 0, then the rule of 5 works. Good. That got rid of a lot of them. Benjamin, I'm not concerned about people are leaving. I'm just going to keep teaching, okay? It doesn't bother. Now, that's the rule of 5. We already did 7. What's the rule of 2? Natalie, type in the rule of 2 because you've been typing it in all day. Natalie, what's the rule of 2? Type it in. Good. The rule of 2 says if the number ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10 is 0. So if the number ends in 2, 4, 6, or 8, you can cross it out, because the rule of 2 is all numbers that are even besides 2. So any number that ends in 2, 4, 6, or 8, you can cross them out because the rule of 2 works. That means 2 times some number will give you that number. So, for instance, let's look at 12. 12 ends in a 2, which means the rule of 2 can be used to determine that 12 is composite. Because 12 ends in a 2, that means 2 times some number will give you 12. 2 times 6. All right? So, all numbers that end in 2, 4, 6, or 8, all of them can be crossed out because they're all composite. All right? So I'm going to cross out all my numbers that end in 2. All right? That whole column is gone. All my numbers that end in 4. That number's gone. 6. And all my numbers that end in 8. All right? And the rule of 5 took care of all my numbers that end in 0. All right? So we're good. So most of the chart is gone. Now we've did the rule of 2, we've did the rule of 5, and the multiples of 7. Now we just have to do the rule of 3. All right. So Chris says, "Can I say the rule of 3?" Chris, type in the rule of 3 so everyone can know how do you use the rule of 3 to turn numbers into prime or composite? Type it in, Chris. Okay. Chris typed in the rule of 3. So if you look at Chris's Nero's text, it says add the 2 digits and skip count by 3. All right. So the rule of 3 says I'm going to take the number, I'm going to add the 2 digits up that make up that number. And if I can skip count by 3 to get to the answer, the rule of 3 works, which means that number is not prime, it's composite. All right. So let me give you an example. Let's take the number 27. Add up the digits. What's 2 plus 7? Well, 2 plus 7 is 9. And I can skip count by 3 to get to 9. 3, 6, 9. Right? So since I can skip count by 3 to get to 9, 27 uses the rule of 3, which means 27 is composite. If you add up the number and you can't skip count by 3, then it's not composite, it's prime. But since it worked on 27, 27 is composite. All right. So now we just gonna go through the rest of the numbers using the rule of 3. All right. So we've done all the first row. Again, we're gonna use the rule of 3 on the rest of the numbers. If the rule of 3 works, the number is composite. If the rule of 3 doesn't work, then the number is prime. All right. So I got my blue marker ready and I got my orange marker ready. All right. So the next number, 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. I cannot skip count by 2 to get to 3. I cannot skip count by 3 to get to 2. I'm sorry. So since the rule of 3 doesn't work, 11 is prime. Right? Natalie says 13 is prime because 1 plus 3 is 4. And you can't skip count by 3 to get to 4. And Natalie, you're correct. 13 is prime. Good. Look at 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Well, 3, 6, 9, not 8. So 17 is not composite. It's prime. All right. 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, not 10. So the rule of 3 doesn't work on 19. So 19 is prime. All right. So we have the first row, we have the second row. In the third row, you just have 23 and 29. Well, 23, I told you 23 is my favorite prime number, right? Like Chris said, my favorite prime number because I like wearing Jordans. All right. 23 is prime because 2 plus 3 is 5. I can't skip count by 3 to get to 5 because the rule of 3 don't work. Right? So 23 is prime. And 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. 3, 6, 9, 12, not 11. So 29 is also prime. All right. 31. 3 plus 1 is 4. I cannot skip count by 3 to get to 4. So 31 is prime. 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, 3, 6. I can skip count by 3 to get to 6. Or if you know your multiplication, you know that 3 times 11 is 33. All right? So 33 is composite because I can do 1 times 33 and I can do 3 times 11. So since it's composite, I'm going to cross it out in blue. Good. All right? 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, not 10. So Natalie's right. 37 is prime. So I'm going to circle it. 39. 3 plus 9 is 12, Darlene. 3, 6, 9, 12. I can skip count by 3, which means the rule of 3 works, Darlene. And since the rule of 3 works, 39 is composite, Darlene. So I'm going to cross it out in blue. All right. 41 is prime because 4 plus 1 is 5. I can't skip count by 3 to get to 5. All right. So 41 is prime. I'm going to circle it. 43, 4 plus 3 is 7. I cannot skip count by 3 to get to 7. That's also prime. 47, 4 plus 7 is 11. 3, 6, 9, 12, not 11. The rule of 3 doesn't work, so 47 is also prime. But look at 51. 51 is 5 plus 1, which is 6. Well, 3, 6. I can skip count by 3 to get to 6. So 51 is composite because the rule of 3 works. All right? 53, 5 plus 3 is 8. 3, 6, 9, not 8. The rule of 3 doesn't work on 53. So 53 is prime. 57. 5 plus 7 is 12. So 3, 6, 9, 12. The rule of 3 works on 57. So 57 is composite. Remember, if the rules work, it's composite. If the rules don't work, it's prime. All right? 59. 5 plus 9 is 14. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Not 14. So 59 is prime. All right? 61. 6 plus 1 is 7. 3, 6, 9, not 7. The rule of 3 doesn't work. 61 is prime. All right? 67. 6 plus 7 is 13. I cannot skip count by 3 to get to 13. So 13 is, so 67 is prime. 69. 6 plus 9 is 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I can skip count by 3. So the rule of 3 works. And if the rule works, it's composite. So 59 is composite. All right, we're almost done. 71. 71 is prime, Darlene, because 7 plus 1 is 8. You cannot skip count by 3 to get to 8. All right, 71 is prime. 73, 7 plus 3 is 10. You cannot skip count by 3 to get to 10. So Benjamin is correct. 73 is prime. All right, the last one on this row is 79. 7 plus 9 is 16. You cannot skip count by 3 to get to 16. So it's prime. 79 is prime. All right, last two rows, 81. 8 plus 1 is 9. 3, 6, 9. Also, you should know that 9 times 9 is 81. So since I can multiply 81 times some number besides 1, remember 9 times 9 is 81. That makes it composite. All right. 83. 8 plus 3 is 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. So 3, 6, 9, 12, not 11. And since the rule doesn't work, 83 is prime. 87. 8 plus 7 is 15. And 8 plus 7 is 15. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 87. The rule of 3 works. So it's composite. 89. 8 plus 9 is 17. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, right? So 87, I'm sorry, 89 is prime. All right, couple more and we'll be done. Last row, we'll be done. 9 plus 3 is 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. The rule of 3 works, so it's composite. 97. 9 plus 7 is 16. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Right? So 97, the rule of 3 does not work on. So 97 is composite. Last one, 99. Well, you should know 9 times 11 is 99. So it has more than one way. So 99 is composite. All right. Now, you're saying, Mr. T, why did we go through the whole hundreds chart? It's going to help you with your homework. You literally got all the answers ready for you. Remember, if it's crossed out in a blue X, it's composite. If it's circled, right? Let me put that. If it's circled in that, then that means it's prime. And if it's green, it's neither. One is the only one that's neither. All right. So now I'm going to do the 6th grade version of prime and composite, and then I'll give you your homework and we'll be done. All right. All right. So in 6th grade, there's going to be what you call prime factorization. Again, this is 6th grade. Prime factorization is when you turn a composite number into all prime factors. All right. Now, this is the 6th grade version, so pay attention. All right. Again, prime factorization. They're going to give you a big composite number, right? And what you're going to do is turn that composite number into all prime factors. All right. You're going to figure out which prime numbers you can multiply to get that composite number. This is 6th grade work. All right. And I was going to teach you this anyway when we went back to school. So I don't know if we're going to go back to school. So I'm going to teach you anyway. Then we'll be done. All right. So let's take the number 100, right? Well, I know 100 is composite. I know the number 100 is composite, right? So the rule of 5 works on that because it ends in a 0. So I know number 100 is composite. Now I need to break down 100 into all prime numbers, right? So you can type in which numbers can multiply to equal 100. Type it in. All right, your cell got 10 times 10, 1 times 100, 50 times 2, 1 times 100. All right, 1 times 100, 2 times 50, 4 times 25. All right, good. Now, I got 3 answers. You said 1 times 50, you said 2 times, you said 1 times 100, 2 times 50, and 4 times 25, right? Well, I can't use 1 because 1 is neither. So I can't use 1 times 100. I can use 2 times 50 or I can use 4 times 25. Right? So let's take 4 times 25. Right? Now, I'm not done yet because 4 is composite and 25 is also composite. The goal is to turn this composite number 100 into all prime factors. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I broke it down into 4 times 25, but I gotta keep breaking it down until I get only prime numbers. So how can I break down 4? What does 4 break down into? Type it in. If you know what number can I multiply to get 4? Remember, don't use 1 because 1 is neither prime nor composite. Good. Darling said 2 times 2, which is right because 2 is prime. All right. So we broke that down into 2 times 2, right? Now, who can tell me how to break down 25 into prime numbers multiplied? How do you break down 25? Type it in. Type in how to break down 25. Good. Yourself, Andrea, darling. All right. Good. 5 times 5. All right. Congratulations. This is the answer. This is all prime numbers. That means you have done your job. You have done the prime factorization of 100. You have turned the composite number 100 into all prime factors. All right. Now, you know the answer is correct because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 times 5 is the 100. So you have turned a composite number into all prime numbers. This is prime factorization. This is the 6th grade version of prime and composite. All right. For homework, children, in your Star Masters book, your homework is just page 19. All right. Page 19. It only has 4 problems. Okay. I'm going to type it in. All right. Star Masters, page 19 for homework. It's only 4 questions. Don't be crying. Don't be crying. It's only 4 questions, bro. You be all right. All right. Now, it's easy. All you have to do when you're doing your homework, just go back, just roll this recording back to where the prime and composite numbers were X'd out and circled, and use that chart. Hit pause on that video and use that chart to answer the questions. You know which numbers in prime and which one numbers is composite. All right. Any other questions? You can email me or you can hit me up on Instagram. All right. I got to get on another conference at 1:00. So you guys can just email me your work when you're done, or you can send it in my Instagram inbox. All right. All right. This is Mr. T. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 12 noon. Set y'all timers, Mariah Perry, so y'all can get up. Charge your phone, Mariah Perry. All right. But I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. All right. Peace.